Welcome back to Blockonomics. Last week I had both the honor and the privilege to attend Bitcoin 2023 in Miami Beach, Florida. In this video, I'm just going to give a rundown of my expectations versus reality, general thoughts, and then I'm just going to give the whole experience an overall rating. So let's talk about expectations versus reality. Being on Twitter, it's really easy to think that, the Bitcoin community is toxic, very maximalist. They believe in Bitcoin, Bitcoin only, and everything else is just an S coin. And there was this element of this kind of toxic culture, if I'm being completely honest. For example, we had speakers like Max Kaiser, well-known Bitcoin maximalist, and he works with El Salvador. I believe he's the advisor for the El Salvador Bitcoin project because, Bitcoin is a legal currency in El Salvador. When he spoke, he was very disparaging towards anything not Bitcoin. It almost feels like a stand-up routine. But beyond that, there was kind of a spectrum of speakers. So, you had speakers like Michael Lewis, who is the renowned author of The Big Short, and is working on a book about Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder, alleged fraudster of FTX. And, he made a point of being very neutral. He kind of said, I write books. I don't want to worry about finances. I have people who do that. So he was very neutral. And he also said that, being an author can't get really invested in the whole space. I have to be a little more neutral, which I respected. And then, there's other speakers who were very mixed, had belief in Bitcoin and Ethereum, altcoins. So there's kind of a full gambit. The second point in terms of expectations versus reality is I thought due to the ongoing bear market that the conference would be rather small. That first day in particular was very packed. I think because you had, keynote speakers like Michael Lewis, Michael Saylor, you had Jack Mallers, the founder of Strike, and you even had presidential candidate Robert Kennedy Jr., who gave a speech. So when these presenters were there, everyone kind of flooded to the main stage, and there was no sitting room, completely full expo area with all the, Bitcoin-related companies, mining companies, the Bitcoin magazine booth. That area was also packed on the first day. There was a general drop-off on that second day. It was still busy, but there was a noticeable difference from that first day and that second day. And I think a lot of that is, people come in, they want to see the whales, the big speakers, they get the experience, they see the expo, and then, they're ready to do some other stuff in Miami, which I completely understand. Another expectation that I did have was that I would kind of see all the influencers in the space. I found that generally, it was a little divided. There was like a VIP whale area where you had to have a separate wristband, and they had this whole back area where, the larger players would hang out. So there was a very clear separation between general and then the higher caliber people in the space, which was a bit disappointing. Let's talk about my thoughts, overall, honest thoughts about the conference. So first off, was it worth the money? And I would say yes and no. If your goal is to network, meet people with conviction and have this belief of Bitcoin, great reason to go. If you're going to rub shoulders with the influential people, then maybe not your case. Also, for me personally, I found it very helpful to be in the same room as, the speakers and to learn in person from them and to be surrounded within a community that has the same belief and the same values in terms of Bitcoin that I do. If you're newer and you're just trying to learn, you can stream it for free on YouTube and get much of the same benefits just watching online for free. So for me, it was worth it. I had a great time, made great connections, and it served my purposes, but I don't think it's necessarily worth it for everyone. Let's talk rating. I gave this conference personally a B+. Great speakers. The sound quality was great. The lighting and the stage presentation was fantastic. There was great networking opportunities. There was, a chance to see these up-and-coming companies at their booths and talk to these founders. The only thing that knocked it from an A to a B+ in my book was the price. It is expensive, especially factoring that Miami Beach isn't cheap. Hotels, food, all those expenses are also expensive, particularly in Miami, on top of ticket price. So I would highly recommend it for Bitcoin enthusiasts or people who really want to get in the weeds and, kind of meet like-minded people. So that wraps up for this video. Until next time.